welcome to Impossible Coin. I'm Brian Cartwright. I am joined by Rocky Hardy.
Yeah, that's me. What up?
I'm also joined by Tegan Somerset.
I also exist in this space. Wow.
Wait, we're like 60 seconds, like less than 60 seconds in, we're already making noises?
Let's do it.
I said wow, to be fair. Like, it wasn't just a random noise.
Okay, that was a wow? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow.
I thought it was more of a wow, like kind of like a...
It's like a wow.
Okay, all right. Fantastic. I need to get my ears and my brain checked.
You should be doing that anyway. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. This is Impossible Coin's yearly reminder that should you have health insurance, you may as well use it.
Oh, fuck. I should really use my health insurance.
It's important to make sure that you are checked out regularly to help prevent problems that may seem like nothing from becoming large problems in the future. If you have health insurance, use it.
Tegan's right. I should really go to some of these doctor visits.
Yeah, you really fucking should!
Fuck.
God damn it.
So I guess this is, week 3, week 4, I don't know.
This is week 4. This is the 4th week of December.
This is week 4, topic 3.
True enough.
There you go.
We did have 2 weeks of topic 2.
Yeah, Resident Games is kind of big. It usually is.
Resident Games is always big. We're sorry. We're also not sorry, frankly.
Guys, remember when we did Best Moment? It was like 5.5 hours.
Best Moment was hard.
Remember when we lost 3 hours of Best Moment once?
I do.
I do.
I had that pop up on my Facebook memories the other day.
Mm-hmm.
And,
where you're like, oh yeah, we just did like 4 hours of recording and lost all of it.
Oh, that was a time. My lord.
Man, that sucked! And then when we re-recorded it, we like somehow triggered Tegan because things didn't turn out the same way.
Oh god, I absolutely lost my mind. It was not a good time.
Yeah.
That was a bad session. We should have just given up. We should have just acknowledged that, like, we lost the footage and been done with it.
But we ran it back. I think no one noticed, so I think that's fine.
I mean, that was also part of, like, the series of years where I was working 2 jobs.
Oh, yeah.
And it was the holidays, and I was tired.
That did happen.
Didn't you start going to work for big video game retail after we started this show?
Yep.
What was it?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, what was the thinking behind that? Like, I should go to work for big video game retail.
No, I thought she just, like, she was already in the scene. Like, she knew the people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
I got offered an easy Christmas job. I did it. And then they were like, what if you stayed on longer? And I was like, sure. Then I can, like, this matches up with my other interests and maybe I can, like, get more insight into video game nonsense because I don't do that independently on my own at all.
Mm.
And so I thought it would make me, like, better on the show overall. And it did, because I did play a lot of video games in those years. And then I died. So it was fine.
Oh, man.
I don't think we were expecting 2021 to be the year where Game of the Year was dominated by existential dread, but here we are.
Well, I mean,
maybe you weren't, but, like, last year it wasn't, so it was bound to happen eventually.
we did get lucky in 2020. We were surprisingly hopeful about video games then.
The ostrich meat, it helped.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I think there's a part of me that still thinks that, like, this all still feels like 2020. It's just, like, maybe...
Oh, that's because it's all the pandemic.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
pandemic.
you're still in the pandemic. I'm getting my booster on Monday. I timed it very well.
I really should
Frankly.
schedule a booster. That seems like a thing I should do.
You should be able to. It's super easy, and it's still free.
Much to think about. I might do that today. But we have things to do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is our 4th week, but 3rd topic, which is our personal top 5s. We're just going to talk about the top 5 video games that each of us connected with and found joy with. Who wants to go first?
Something which is, like, kind of on topic for what we're doing today, Rocky, is I believe that you are, that you have brought our amuse-bouche, or, like...
Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell us what we'll be sampling today?
Wait. Yeah, okay. I forgot if you did at the beginning of the end last time, but I'm going to interject each top 5 with a quote from the seminal anime Eureka 7. It's spelled Eureka 7, but it's Eureka 7. Please trust me. Like, I fought about this for years.
It makes me mad, but you're not wrong.
Yeah. Oh, you mean like Yggdrasil, Tegan?
Yeah, like Yggdrasil. Oh.
Oh, man, depends on one sometimes.
Okay. Who's going first?
Mm-hmm.
Tegan.
Is this where we rock, paper, scissors, shoot? Oh, we're doing existential crisis right at the top? Sure, okay.
Actually, yeah, that's great. Okay, go ahead.
That's how we'll start. We'll start with the descent into madness. My number 5 game of the year, in keeping with tradition of not having actually 5 games that I want to talk about for game of the year, is tabletop role-playing games, which are not video games categorically.
Categorically, yeah.
Just like last year where my top 5 recommendation consisted of reading a fucking book. My top 5 game of the year, tabletop role-playing games that you play with your friends remotely over Discord or whatever your method of your choice is, entirely relies on theater of the mind and using that to emotionally connect with people who are physically distant from you.
It sounds like a video game.
10 highly recommend it. Yeah, it's basically like doing Call of Duty or whatever in your brain, but better because you actually get to pretend you're doing the cool things. I also recommend putting on a video game playlist of your choice in the background to make your character feel more alive.
Might I suggest the various soundtracks for Final Fantasy XIV? My personal favorite is Shadowbringers, but Stormblood and Endwalker has some bangers too.
That is very good. I recommend, personally, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild boss music.
Hell yeah.
When you're fighting the, whatever your BBEG of the week is. BBEG is Big Bad Evil Guy, for people who do not know.
Or gal.
Yeah, or gal, or whatever. Big Bad Evil Jude, I guess. I don't know.
So...
Who knows? But yeah, that's it. That's my recommendation. Play some games with your friends.
So, Rocky, you would recommend Final Fantasy XIV music. Would that be the critically acclaimed Final Fantasy XIV, which includes a free trial, which includes Heavensward?
Oh, you mean, I'm sorry, Brian, you're mistaken, unfortunately, because critically acclaimed Final Fantasy XIV, including... free trial up to level 60 and the famous expansion Heavensward is actually no longer available for purchase this holiday season and probably will not be until like mid-January.
Yeah, that's fair. But once again, you don't have to play the game to listen to the music. All the soundtracks are actually officially on Spotify with the exception of Endwalker's music so far.
I do also recommend the Dark Souls music.
True.
If you want something like particularly like desperate, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That, like, light at the end of the tunnel vibe is 100% present in most Dark Souls music.
I think
very good.
I've actually been looking at a couple of tracks for my own TTRPG from Dark Souls, but, like, I'm gonna have... My party recently got mechs, so I'm gonna have them in a mech battle with Dark Souls music. I think that'll be a good mix. I'm interested. I'm looking into it.
It's very good. Definitely recommend. There's also like if you are the kind of person who only likes playing like tabletop games, like proper tabletop games, you could also like check out Tabletop Simulator on Steam, which is a game that allows you to play board games with your friends. Like if you're a board game person. So we've done like Betrayal on the House on the Hill and that sort of thing using that, which is a good time. But yeah. That's my number 5 pick. Number 4 on my... I have to look. Number 4 on my top 5 games of the year for 2021 is Genshin Impact. But not necessarily Genshin Impact specifically, like also loosely watching the community around Genshin Impact. The cosplay content is very good. The animatic content is very angsty. Like, the fanfiction content is very fanfiction. It's all, like, very much whatever you want to engage with. It is there and available for you. The Genshin Impact, like, they've got a very vibrant, like, theory community. They've got a lot of good people who help, like, figure out better builds, easy builds, like, for characters. There's plenty of resources on how to get materials and that kind of thing. So, like, overall, like, despite the Genshin community being the Genshin community, and doing the things that it does, there are a lot of very helpful people in it. And also the game is pretty fun. All of the stories so far have been good, even if all of the, like, main plot stories, some of them have been, like, lacking. The side stories that they have for, like, special events are always fun. I just was spending my week recapturing dogs because a dog ninja wanted to make sure that people's house pets were able to help defend their owners. It was dumb, and it was wholesome.
For sure.
What a good ninja dog. And because I did all of those quests, I now have my very own ninja dog that looks like a Shiba Inu that holds a sword in his tail.
Never fight someone in front of their dog. Don't do it.
Don't. Yeah, actually do it. See what happens. Fuck around. Find out.
Oh god. Tegan's trying to get y'all hurt. I'm trying to look out for y'all. That's all I'm saying.
No, I'm just letting you know that dogs understand the rules, so fuck around and find out. I'm just making sure you understand that very clearly. Anyway, Genshin Impact is very good. The story is very good. The character is very good. Albedo didn't come home for me, but that's okay.
Oh no.
I'm gonna get Goru. I will. He's only a 4-star. He can't also not come home. He is a dog.
I'm very interested in this number 3 pick here.
Number 3 pick is where I zone out and forget what happened for an entire year.
Oh, so like Blazeball.
Yeah, like Blazeball. Exactly like Blazeball. No idea what happened. The season just ended, also.
Okay.
No idea what happened. My team's a peanut. I don't know where a dog pitcher went. And also, the voice talkers won, but they have no icon, so I don't know what that means either. It'll be fine. It's just like what happened in Blazeball. I blinked and it was December.
Alright, fuck.
I have no idea what's going on in Blazeball. Sometimes when I log in, it just makes me click a button, which is a peanut, before I can do anything, but it's not consistent. Does it always do that?
Peanuts! Get your peanuts!
You gotta get your peanuts somehow. I think that's because the shelled one is back on the field, but the shelled one is just the fucking Ohio peanuts now.
Can I read the top 2 upshelled events to you all?
Yeah.
Yes.
You can.
Number 2 is a peanut crashed in the infield. That was, and the one from the number 1 upshelled event is a solitary peanut rolls onto the field. Everybody cares.
God.
The microphone, as of recording, the microphone is about to short circuit. It'll short circuit in 3 hours ish and counting. What will happen? Sure do not know. Sure do not know. Literally no idea. I don't understand what I'm voting on. But I sure am voting for things.
That may be the common, like, American voting experience, Tegan.
Yeah, you know.
I was going to say, is that a direct quote from Joe Manchin?
Oh, God.
God. It feels like it. I swear to God. Don't know what any of this means. I'm voting. I'm voting because voting is important. But, like, I don't know what I'm voting for. I don't understand how any of this is going to affect anything. That's fine. We'll see what happens next time. The Blazeball, like, commissioner they are gathering some data on, like, how the betting system currently is working. It sounds like there might be some changes to it in the next circuit after the microphone comes back online.
Okay.
I don't know. God. This is just what it's felt like reading the news, in 2021. all those memes are like 2021 right around the corner, me processing 2020, and it's now just like 2022 right around the corner, me still processing 2020.
Yeah, 2022 is definitely. Is it Jason Momoa sneaking up on Henry Cavill?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Good lord.
Sure is what it feels like. Wow.
No.
I don't know what happened this year. Like, I understand. I was looking at, like, some recap stuff, and they were like, oh, this year the first event in Genshin Impact was the Lantern Rite. And I was like, the Lantern Rite happened this year? I thought it happened last year.
Yeah. Yeah.
What? Oh, God. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know. Who knows? I got a new job. This whole fucking year was weird as hell.
True enough.
Not in the same way last year was weird, but still weird. Anyway. Number 2 on my game of the year, my personal top 5 game of the year, is Animal Crossing, the Happy Home Designer DLC. Fuck the regular island entirely, actually. I just want to design cute animal vacation homes for my friends. I'm not good at it, in the same way that, like, I've seen people online doing, like, oh, I'm doing this, I'm using the counter system to create, like, a false window so that it looks like you're sitting in a little nook
That does sound
like, looking
intense.
over a snowy field and shit. Yeah, there are people who are, like, really putting in, like, the work to make their homes, like, nice.
Sure.
And I'm just like, I like putting a pillar here, and I make it look like it's made out of brick, so it looks like there's a brick pillar. And I made this one kind of like a dance studio. Wow! And, like, that's it. Like,
For sure.
I'm having fun.
I had a dinner with Her Majesty this week.
Yeah.
And it looked like my mom was actually interested in she was like looking forward to playing like something on the Switch this week. I didn't realize that was happening, but I did have it with me. And so I turned off Shin Megami Tensei first off, and then I started up Animal Crossing. So I remember my mom showing interest in it, and then I was like unlocking a bunch of stuff because full disclosure, I haven't opened Animal Crossing since June. But like, you know, there's like all the like I get the announcements from Isabel. And, like, everyone's happy to see me, and there's all sorts of new stuff that's open. And then, like, someone tells me, or no, I meet Lottie, and Lottie's like, hey, yeah, if you want to come, like, work for me, do interior design. My mom's like, we can do interior design? And I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, sure. And then she, like, messed around with the intro to Happy Home Designer for about an hour. That was cool.
It's a good one. It's a good one. Like, it really is. It's a fun time. They did a good job, and like the Happy Home stuff from like the standalone game was very good, so like I'm just glad that they've expanded on it, like just enough to make it feel like a little bit fresh still without being completely overwhelming. But if you're into like the Stardew Valley sort of like rearranging, dress up doll sims, that kind of stuff, like you're definitely gonna get a kick out of Happy Home Designer. And like interpreting what everybody's like visions are is always kind of fun, because you can go super literal, like all of the people who have built that one lion, just like these fabulous ass toilet bathrooms with like multiple things for like multiple spaces to take a dump, to like these people who have built like really elaborate fancy like spas for people. Like it's just wild.
I'm interested in some of the spa tech.
It is super fun to see. That is for sure. I've really enjoyed, like, I like seeing other people's designs. I like doing, like, what I can with my designs and just being like, oh, I never thought to use that like that. That's neat. And you can always, like, redesign a house that you've already designed. Mm-hmm. If you get, like, new tech that you think would, like, suit an older design better.
That's pretty cool. I think being able to revisit feels good.
It does. It does. It doesn't feel like you've ever, like, fucked an animal over, essentially. You know, like, oh, I got better stuff now, and if I could redo this house, I would make it so much nicer. Like, you can just go and redo the house. It's not deep at all. You can just do that. Which is very fun. This is very fun. And I found out recently that there are, like, the restaurant and the cafe and stuff, you can add a second floor onto to do different stuff in. Yeah. Very fun. 10 out of 10. Definitely gonna be working on those. And you purchase those with Pokey, not with the like bells.
For sure.
The currency is all like still self-contained. But yeah, that's my number 2. And my number 1 game of the year is Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Fuck you, this game is good. Fuck you. When it came out, I waxed Poetica about it for hours. I cried about the princess. I'm playing it again on stream. It's still beautiful and great in every way. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm so glad that this is your number 1 game because it gives me an excuse to read something to Tegan and make her explode.
Oh, here we go.
In a good way or in a bad way?
Well,
I want to make sure I'm bringing the right energy.
Okay. Noted video game critic and academic Ian Bogost had a take on Breath of the Wild yesterday.
Okay.
Where he quote tweeted the Zelda GIF World account. The Zelda GIF World account had put up a picture for the logo of Ocarina of Time and a picture of the logo for Breath of the Wild and said, choose one. And he quote tweeted it and said, my take is that Breath of the Wild is not just not the best Zelda, but that it is a bad game. If I want to play Skyrim, I do literally anything else instead. Breath of the Wild is the O'Hare Airport of Zelda games.
That's pretty funny, actually.
Okay.
And
good for him. Sorry you didn't like it.
Yeah, right.
And for me, it would have just been like a hot take if he had not included this specifically, the thing about it being O'Hare Airport. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, what does that even mean? The O'Hare Airport of Zelda games? And not just the O'Hare Airport of video games, it's the O'Hare Airport of Zelda. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean?
Well, Brian, clearly, the Chicago O'Hare Airport killed Ian Bogo's family, burned his crops, and made his hair fall out. Like, obviously.
The Chicago O'Hare Airport is a very unique travel experience in that if you're going to like a lot of big hub areas, it's unavoidable, but it is always a nightmare to navigate.
Ooh.
It doesn't matter what place you land, like what section you land in, and what gate you need to be. It's always, way the fuck over there. And also full of the worst kinds of travel people who, despite all of them having traveled before in their life, somehow completely forget how airports function as a liminal space. And also, like, it has all this really cool, like, art shit and stuff inside, but you don't get to look at any of that because you have to be at your other gate on the other fucking end of the airport in 2 minutes. Like...
You know what? Actually, based on Tegan's description, maybe Ian Bogost is right.
I mean, he's not wrong. Like, if Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is your least favorite video game, it is at this point completely unavoidable. The people who love it are ridiculous about how much they love it and how much it's the best video game to come out in all of video games, while not acknowledging that it is very similar in, like, initial design to what Skyrim is, you know? And, like, the people who don't love it because it lacks a lot of traditional Zelda elements, like the puzzle dungeons and that sort of thing, because, like, that wasn't the focus of the game. The focus was on this narrative and world-building situation, which is not what they wanted out of Zelda.
That's right.
But it's a very good game. I'm sorry, I'm sorry that you're not getting the experience that you want out of the Legend of Zelda game, but I hate to break it to you, but Ocarina of Time is not that good. Like, it hasn't aged super well. I'm sorry you still think that one's the better one out of the two. You're wrong, but it's okay. You're allowed to be wrong.
Yeah, Ocarina of, like, it is it a hot take on our show to say that like Ocarina of Time is not that good?
I don't think so.
I
Yeah.
don't think anyone's really caping for Ocarina of Time here.
Yeah, I was gonna say like I feel like this is a safe space to say that Ocarina is not that good. It's just like Majora's Mask is just so much better. And it's like the same fucking assets. It's like, hey, like it's
See, I'm hesitant to say that Majora's Mask is so much better, but like between the two, it is the better of the games that came out on the N64. I will acknowledge that. I was personally not a fan of Majora's Mask for like a number of reasons, but like that's okay. I acknowledge that I am in like the not so vocal minority on that, I guess.
Okay.
Like,
is it the vibes? Is it the vibes on Majora's Mask? Like I know some people can't like handle like the way Majora's Mask feels.
no, it's not that. It's entirely like the lack of forgiveness in the time travel system in the early game would repeatedly fuck me up. And like as someone who has anxiety, like adding that on top of my regular gameplay experience just made it near unbearable for a long time.
I think I get that.
But like I enjoy watching people play Majora's Mask. I like the little storylines. I like the characters. I like Termina. I think they've done a lot of like very clever things with it. But I just do not like playing that game.
And the thing for the thing for me that Ocarina has to offer is its speedrunning community, and that's about it. Like I like the Ocarina speedrunning community, but like the game itself is just like for the most part like very bland. Like it's kind of like they're still like trying to figure out the idea of like, okay, we're making one of these, but it's 3D. So like all of the puzzling in the game sucks. You know, like like none of the puzzles are even remotely clever or fun to solve.
And then with Majora's Mask, they kind of get their feet like under them a little bit more.
Yeah.
Ocarina of Time fundamentally changed the way that I like thought about video games, because Ocarina of Time left a lot of space that needed to be like filled, if that makes sense, that wasn't necessarily filled by like other games in the franchise. And that's when like, oh, there's a timeline thing coming in, and like, oh wait, video games exist in a greater context than just the thing that you play in the box, you know?
Right.
Like that was my first experience of like, hey, like one story leads into another story leads into another story, even if they aren't like numbered sequels and that sort of thing. And so that part, I think, of Ocarina of Time is important for like younger, like earlier gamers. Like that's an early gaming experience that I don't think other games would have given to me specifically. But I don't go back and replay Ocarina of Time and go like, oh, this is the best game ever, you know? I'm like, this is an okay game. The music's pretty cool. Like, that's it. But Breath of the Wild, like, especially looking through it in pandemic year number 2, like, the melancholy and the distance that you see from all these other characters who are supposed to be like Link's best friends and that sort of thing, like really resonate as someone who like already isn't super social, and is watching like the people I have been social with in the past like go out and do things in ways that I'm not comfortable with like right now, you know, because of like, you know, not just like general pandemic anxiety sort of thing, but also like my sister has a 2-year-old who I see regularly and he can't get the vaccine, so like I don't want to risk trying to like accidentally exposing him to stuff, so like I'm more closely limiting my experience than like my friends who are just like, well, it's only me and my roommates and we're all like in our 20s and none of us see our parents, you know, because we live too far away anyway, so like we're gonna go out and do stuff. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
For sure.
It's interesting. I think worth a revisit in the year of pandemic number 3, which is coming up.
Pandemic third.
Especially if you're looking forward to the inevitable Breath of the Wild 2 announcement, like official announcement that'll be coming eventually. Like,
It's this summer. You can't commit.
Yeah. Get yourself re-familiar with this world, because you're going to be back into it, and you don't want to be one of those people who is stressed playing the game right before the next one comes out, trying to remember all the stuff that you forgot, like how to dodge and how to do your special, like, what is it? Like flurry of blows and like that kind of stuff. You know?
Yeah.
It's worth a revisit. It's worth a replay. It's definitely worth a replay.
Don't worry about being so considerate of adults. You can only be a kid for so long, so you might as well enjoy it. Brian, do you want me to go next, or do you want to go next?
Up to you, man. Dealer's choice.
I'm flipping a coin.
Fantastic.
Calling it the airheads. Heads it is. I'm going.
Alrighty.
All right. So, my top 5. My coming in at number 5 is Shin Megami Tensei 5. I've been waiting for this game for a long time, but I really like. There's a quote from the director of FromSoft, where he earnestly replies to people who like complain about how maybe he's a sadist in the way that he like designs like the FromSoft games or like guides the FromSoft games. And he's saying like, I'm not a sadist, I'm a masochist. Like when I play this game and like I lose in some weird nonsense, like when a mushroom punches my head in the video game, this is how I want to be treated. And when I play Shin Megami Tensei 5 and I walk in a world where demons can run amok, where power is the only thing that can keep you safe, and everything is a challenge where there are numerous wrong answers, but exploration is the only way to find the right one, is like my space. Exactly. I really like seeing what people do when shit hits the fan. I really enjoy traveling in this world and making connections with characters that I wouldn't otherwise. There are very nuanced, unsung keys to like Shin Megami Tensei 5 that are lost in its difficulty. Like, for example, you are a human-ish character traveling a world that is overrun by demons, but you need demons to fight with in a kind of Pokemon-style fashion. Or if I had to dig for a more precise example, maybe the way that Dragon Quest Monsters worked before. But the way that you get monsters to join you is that you have to talk to them. You have to negotiate a deal. And if you negotiate like you would in Persona and you were successful, then they join your party. And the negotiations are really interesting because, like, demons, at least a well-orchestrated group of demons, can wipe your team, like, in 2 turns in the best of scenarios. And so you need to be extremely careful when you're negotiating, and like your life is on the line every time you negotiate with them. Because if you fuck up, then they get initiative and they could kill you if they do it right. But there's a weird like sense of like how generosity gets you what you want more often in the game. Like, I'll meet a demon that I want to, like, bring into my party, and it's like, well, give me a huge chunk of your HP. And it's like, yeah, sure, you can have it. Or, like, here, take this amount of maca. And then, like, if you do that, like, unflinchingly, and, like, give of yourself, then, like, you're able to pull in a new, like, teammate or whatever. And, like, every time you fight, like, a major boss encounter, it's always this really intricate, like, puzzle. Like, if you show up and you get your ass kicked and then like you come back later and it keeps happening repeatedly, sure, like what you could do is like run off and grind someplace like you would in some of the older Shin Megami Tensei games where like if your numbers are high enough you don't have to solve the puzzle, but solving the puzzle is rewarding. And I always feel like every time I walk into a boss battle and I sit down and figure out this is what I can do, these are the demons that I can leverage in this position. These are the items I want to focus on. These are the things I can do to protect myself defensively. Feels really rewarding once you get it. But getting it is hard. It is so fucking difficult to piece together how this thing works, but for me, it's worth it. And that's why it ended up in my number 5. Brian, if I've scared you off of Shin Megami Tensei 5, I understand.
I'm scared of Shin Megami Tensei 5, but I started scared from it,
Yeah.
so, like, fair. I really hope you play it on stream so I can see what the fuck is going on.
I think I'm going to do my second playthrough on stream. And that's when I'm going to turn up the difficulty, and maybe I'll have to grind some more. But, like, I'm playing on the normal difficulty, and I basically don't have to grind, which is, my sweet spot. Like, I go in every fight, and, like, I basically burn, like, a shit ton of items every time. But, like, I don't have to grind for it, and to me that feels like a fair trade.
Okay.
And just to review, there is no easy mode.
Yeah, there is. There's, like, 2 difficulties under normal.
Well, maybe I should open the box and put it into my Switch.
Jesus Christ. Anyways, but yeah, that's my number 5. It's a video game that I've been having so much fucking fun with. Tegan, okay, so I mentioned this before. There's a really interesting lore thing, because like at the beginning of the game, right, the protag meets a artificially created demon that fuses with him, and they become a being called a Nahobino, which is supposed to be something that can become a god, right? Mm-hmm. And then there are other characters who make other, like, they strike deals with demons, but they're not just, like, negotiations in, like, the same way that, like, demon summoning works, where, like, if you're working with humans, usually your demon basically is summonable out of your cell phone, or, like, with Nahobino, they just kind of walk around and follow him. There are some people, like, for example, there's, like, a former, like, I think he was a cop, who, like, is, like, in a relationship. I'm not sure if it's romantic, but, like, they are a pair that, like, draw power from each other, and it's symbiotic. Like, this human connection with this demon grants them access to what they call knowledge with a capital K. The demon grants him access to, like, increased demon powers and, like, an extension of the demon's body itself. And, like, they kind of just walk around the demon world, like, as a couple. Just, like, doing stuff and fighting you occasionally.
Oh, okay. That's kind of cool.
And there's, like, several powerful demons. Like, the ones that usually do it are north of, like, level 35 or so. So, like, maybe after the first third of the game. They are desperately seeking out humans that they are compatible with so that they can fuse and gain access to this knowledge and exponentially increase their power. And, like, that's a thing that's continuously going on. And I have so many questions. I'm very excited for, like, digging into, like, the bookends of this. But, like, Shin Megami Tensei 5 is fucking sick.
God, sounds wild.
Speaking of wilds, number 4 on my list is Neo: The World Ends With You, which is a game that I've been waiting even longer for. And I was very on the fence about this game. I love the DS game, The World Ends With You. I think it was unironically one of the best video games to come out of 2013, depending on who you ask. That may not be saying that much. But I loved how inventive it was. I loved its scenario where you're just a bunch of kids who recently died, stuck playing some weird game by people you've never met before in an effort to reclaim your mortality. I loved that you somehow got pulled into, like, this war between deities because they just made a bet. Like, you're just basically Job for some reason. It was you're like, if I make this guy suffer, he's gonna, like, turn on all of humanity. Like, you know what? I don't think he is. And then, like, and in this scenario, technically, like, God sort of cheats in a way, which is kind of cool. But, like, this game, the new one, which is, like, years after the fact, that takes the same bones, where you're teenagers who've recently died, fighting to reclaim some modicum of mortality, are pulled into a game run by people you don't know, but it's run completely differently. Instead of fighting for your individual survival and learning the value of cooperation. You instead are thrown into this team-based battle where your opponents aren't like the powers that be, but the people who keep winning. And it's clear that they have something going on. They are trying their best to hold everything in place until they can find a better answer for the problems that they're facing, because their current burden appears impossible. And that is a really neat idea to put in a fucking video game, especially something that is as bright and colorful and fast as Neo: The World Ends With You. And even then, it takes time to let you enjoy its small moments, to indulge in Shibuya fashion, to mess around with, like, the kind of, like, food, or, like, just the idea of just being in this, like, place where there's just so many things to do and explore, but again, your life is also on the line. And it feels like it could be like a muddled, like, mixture of, I guess, motivations, but it just feels like kind of living in a busy city. Like, everything is important, but maybe not important than taking care of yourself, which is really cool. And I'd like to see more games like it. I'm really glad that Square Enix was able to put this one together. I'm deeply disappointed that they consider it a failure, but Square Enix is weird about stuff like that. Like, fucking Final Fantasy 15 sold like 20 million copies, and they were upset because they didn't sell 60. And, like, that's a weird place to live, but whatever. But I love, like, this world that they play with The World Ends With You, and I hope to see more out of it in the future. Go play it. It's fucking sick.
Do you remember when the first Hitman game in the new trilogy came out, and it was the best-selling game in the history of the series?
Yeah.
And Square Enix said this game is an abject failure.
Yeah.
And sold IO Interactive. Like, yeah, they're weird about stuff like that.
I don't get what they're looking for. Like, if they want to do Activision numbers, then, like, I guess, but, like, I don't know if anyone really should want to be Activision, especially now, but whatever.
I mean, I could see wanting to do Activision numbers while not being Activision.
That's fair.
I could see that as, like, a goal.
Yeah. But, like, I don't know. If you guys want to be Activision, then tell me, I guess. Or if you're trying to do Activision numbers or whatever, I don't know. Let me know that. But as far as I know, Square Enix is doing the same shit they've always done. So, whatever. My number 3 game is a game that most people probably haven't heard of, but it's called Chris Tales. It was made by a Colombian studio. It was published by Modus Games, so it's not quite an indie game. But it is a very bright, very stunning, maturely written RPG. It features a couple of characters that maybe, if you're not paying too much attention, will just, like, bore you. Like, 2 of the characters' names can be shortened to Chris, which is difficult when you try to talk about them. I've taken to calling them Toph and Bell. But it's a game where you're playing a young woman who's the subject of a prophecy, who has the ability who is a time mage, who has the ability to see the present, past, and future at once. So she'll look at something, she just has 3 frames, they're cut into triangles in, like, the game's screen or whatever, where you can manipulate the past, the present, and the future at once, use it to solve puzzles, and you go on an adventure to stop someone named the Time Empress. But it's a very carefully written RPG with, like, really great pacing, I think, and the characters are all well designed and it look cool as hell every time you interact with them. Every new party member is a bright and interesting new toy to mess around with. And if you don't like JRPGs, I can see why you wouldn't like this game. But, like, this feels like they've learned the lessons of the craft, and they have put together a very good packaged game that has some of the best art design I've seen in a long time. And I'm actually just thoroughly enamored with this game. I think it's super fun. Every time I play it, I sit down and play it for 6-8 hours at a time. And oh my god, I don't know. More people should be paying attention to, like, what's going in, like, Latin America in terms of development, because a lot of the shit that I've been seeing these days that I've been really like connecting with has been coming out of there.
I'm really glad I spent time like following the Brazilian indie scene this year because like the way that community like prioritizes like what their influences are and the decisions they make in game development are just fascinating. Like it's so completely different than like
world. Yeah,
it's so completely different than the other like what I would call like major theaters of game development. Like when I sit down and I play like a platforming game that was developed in Europe, I'm like, yep, this is a Euro ass platformer. Like it just has a feel. North American games like very quickly you can like identify like the feel that like oh okay this game came from North America. Like Japanese games like there's a feel, but like there's this. I don't think unless people have bothered to dip into that community that like the Brazilian scene is as strongly defined as all of those that like, and there's something which is like exciting and intoxicating, and it just like you just want to keep on going back for more. Yeah, so like fans of this show, like I think you've got more than one of us out here being like, look, just like get into Latin American video games. It's amazing. It's a wild scene. The way that they process their influences, nobody else is doing it. Like, yeah.
If you're a person that doesn't pay attention to scenes specifically and are just looking for good game recs, like Chris Tales is a good game rec.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a very good game rec. I don't think any of us were disappointed with it. I think it came out and we were all like, yeah, this is good. And then later in the year we were like, actually, we have to make time for this because it's better than good.
Yeah. That was very much my experience with it.
Okay. My number 2 video game of the year is Dodgeball Academia.
As it should be. As it fucking should be.
So, like, okay, let me finish, Tegan. So, Dodgeball Academia is a video game that brings me to a place, you know, like in that scene in Ratatouille where Remy serves the critic like the ratatouille and he takes a bite of it and he's like transported back to his like childhood home, like out in the pasture and whatnot. Like,
yeah, in like rural France.
Right. Like playing Dodgeball Academia takes me back to like preteen Rocky playing like Mario Golf and like Mario Tennis on like the GBA and Game Boy Color. Like when I was sitting around and I was running around in this space like trying to be like the best sports kid or whatever and doing all the RPG things without murdering anyone. And it was fun and silly because like they knew that like the stakes weren't like the world, so they didn't have to be Shakespearean or pull from Norse mythology to talk about the stuff that they were doing in the game. They could just make jokes and it was a good time. And Dodgeball Academia takes the sports RPG like magic that Camelot put together decades ago that almost no one wants to touch for some reason, and wraps it in a bright, colorful Paper Mario-esque aesthetic. They do all sorts of really silly things, like have you play at a dodgeball school where the single source of power is a perpetually spinning dodgeball that's stuck in a rock. And you have the ability to roll yourself into a ball and just roll around campus, and that's like the fastest way to get around. There are kids who are starting cults about like the best dodgeball is actually a square ball instead of a round one. There's just all sorts of really goofy, silly shit that's going on in this game. And then you get to develop your characters and like learn their stories while they crack jokes and like make accusations about anime. And it's a fucking great time. It's probably some of the best hours I've spent playing video games this year.
You know, like there is a word that people I think at this point are overusing to describe video games.
Okay.
Which is cozy.
I'm interested.
But I feel like the way that you're describing your emotional relationship with this game is in line with that. Like,
I think that makes sense. Yeah.
I think it's more nostalgia than cozy specifically.
I think what Brian's getting at here is that I like if you hand Dodgeball Academia to some Joe on the street, I don't think they'd necessarily have a cozy experience with it because that's not what the game is giving them. But for me, I am able to cozy up with Dodgeball Academia because it's comfortable and within my like space.
Yeah.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, so it's not necessarily a cozy game, but for Rocky, it is a cozy experience, and that sounds delightful.
It's a good time, man.
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed it. But the best time I've spent with video games this year has been with Unsighted. Unsighted is probably the best Metroidvania that not enough people are talking about. It was also made by a Latin American studio. And it is a top-down Metroidvania, which seems kind of weird because Metroidvanias are traditionally side-scrollers, you know? But, like, think of, like, Metroid meets, like, A Link to the Past, but you have the ability to parry instead of just block. And you are in a world full of automatons where everyone has a very, very salient expiration date, which you can turn off if you really want to. But I think it's a part of the charm of the game, where you are on a race to try to save as many of your automaton comrades as you can. And it's also wrapped in a love story. You've woke up as an amnesiac protagonist, and you're just trying to get back to your love, and you have to fight through hell to get to her. And it's a beautiful story. It's colorful and interactive. The game responds to you, and it's full of really great surprises, like the fact that you have these dog companions that show up with you that fight alongside you. The way that every new like tool is not only like findable but craftable. So like a lot of the times, like if you're replaying the game, what you can do if you just know like how to craft things, you can just get stuff like a double hook shot crazy early in the game because you know how to make it. You already have that personal knowledge. And the way that the game is totally cool with you just zipping through it once you've understood the rules. Like it almost feels as if, and this may not be the best way to describe it, that like your first playthrough of the game is very much just a tutorialization. And when you jump back into it, like immediately after, you can really start taking your gloves off and getting into the thick of things. And I really enjoy how this game invites me to re-explore and rediscover everything about it. Where, because there are so many games, because of the nature of the industry and how people play games nowadays, that they really are only hoping that you get through it once. And if you get to the end, then they've done their job. But these people have decided to make something compact enough and deep enough that if you get through it once, then you'll get what you came for. But if you want to keep going, we will not stop you. And that's really fucking cool.
It's certainly, I think, different than what a lot of other studios are doing.
Meetings are sudden, but through them, we change and move forward. Farewells are also sudden, but you can't linger on the moment.
Thanks, anime.
Thanks, anime! Yeah, I like anime. My top anime of the year is the anime that I didn't watch.
Oh, God.
Shout out to the anime I didn't watch. My top anime of the year is Odd Taxi, actually. If you haven't watched Odd Taxi, you're wrong.
Fair enough.
Fuck's sake.
Good lord.
I mean,
once again asking you to watch Odd Taxi.
Tegan's actually right, though, so...
I am actually right. I have good taste in anime. I gotta say it. I have excellent taste in anime.
Also, that new Bleach trailer, though, whatever. This is not an anime podcast. Brian, what's your top 5 video games of the year?
So my my number 5 game of the year is, I think, a game which is not going to be for everyone, but is going to be for a lot of people. Hitman 3. The reason I say that Hitman 3 is not going to be for everyone is that in a lot of ways, the whole of Hitman 3, the entire goddamn game, feels like climax. And that's because the entire game is climax. Like, very much both narratively and mechanically, Hitman 3 is building upon the first 2 games in the World of Assassination trilogy. So unless you're already bought into the stakes of those games, both mechanically and narratively, then like Hitman 3 is going to, in a lot of ways, feel like it comes out of nowhere. But if you're already bought into the World of Assassination, oh my God. Like, what a feast. And what an absolute fucking feast. From the spire in Dubai, where like you are absolutely seeing like the ultimate distillation of like Agent 47 like traipsing through like a perfect expression of like capitalism, moving in and out of spaces based on class, moving in and out of spaces based on access, and then ultimately doing things like killing men with infinite access by dropping a chandelier on them, to the vineyards of Mendoza, where you have the ability to like find things like rich people celebrating the production of like delicious Malbec wines, to like forced labor, to secret movie theaters, to like evil guys' secret fortresses, like, and that's all just like within one level, within one space. Like Hitman finds ways of telling little stories in little spaces. Like, I still cannot think of a better series of games for environmental storytelling. If you just want to wander through a world and let that world tell a story to you, Hitman is the game to do it. And Hitman 3 is a game where it said, like, it's time to wrap up a lot of these little stories. Like, there's a character that was in the expansion pass for Hitman 2 named Jeff. And Jeff was somebody who spent every level of the Hitman 2 expansion called Patient Zero trying to kill himself because he was depressed. And it was possible, if you did it right, it was possible to save Jeff, to make sure that Jeff did not want to die. So, like, when I encountered Jeff as a background character in Hitman 3, only because I had bothered to save him in Hitman 2 Patient Zero, I fucking cheered. I was like, hooray, Jeff lives!
That's cool.
Yeah. And, like, not everybody will see Jeff in that level, but I do. I get to see Jeff again. And to get to finally, and I say ascend even though it's like a long space, not a tall space, to finally, like, ascend the train in Carpathia, to find the constant, and then be given a choice of become a blank slate and become like a thoughtless assassin again, to kill the constant, or to take from the constant his own sense of personal identity. He's just like a perfect cap to this trilogy. Like it's a perfect ending. And it's an ending where like it feels like a meaningful choice, and you get different endings based on the choice that you make. And they all resonate, and they all have value, and they all make sense based on like what you've encountered thus far. Like I continue to say, like, Hitman is a puzzle game. It is a quiet puzzle game for those who have interest in puzzle games. It is a attack on capitalism, and it is some of the most amusing satirical writing I've ever seen. So if you have the patience to play a whole damn trilogy, then maybe do it, because the conclusion is a feast and is worth getting into. That is Hitman 3.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Do any of you have questions or thoughts regarding Hitman 3.
I'm glad you enjoyed it, man.
All right.
I'm also glad you enjoyed it. It feels like you talk about Hitman in a similar way to how you talk about like the Fast and the Furious movies.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a good thing. Like, I mean that in a good way.
Okay. I can see that. My number 4 game this year is a game called Overboard. A lot of times video games will offer you an opportunity to either be good or bad. And I think that there is a natural human inclination which you actively have to fight against to be good. I think that people prefer to be good. In most cases, like obviously there are some folks out there who are carrying baggage which make them want to be bad. But I think that like all things being equal, people don't want to push grandma into a furnace. But when a game offers you an opportunity to be bad and they do it to the exclusion of options to be good, then there is an opportunity to like revel in it in a very like safe way. You know, like before you were doing shit like selling real estate and playing tennis in Grand Theft Auto 5, Grand Theft Auto 3 really was about killing dudes, crashing cars, and like standing on top of hospitals with a fucking bazooka. You know, like that's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Right.
And there was a purity of purpose. Overboard is a game with a purity of purpose. You are a woman who killed her fucking husband because you think he's a piece of shit and you want to see him dead. And now you are absolutely 100% committed to pinning the murder on someone else, collecting his life insurance money, and fucking the guy that you've been fucking on the side. That is it. And because there is no deviation from that sense of purpose, it allows you to just absolutely revel in being bad. I love being an evil piece of shit in Overboard. It's so much fun. It's so much fun to bludgeon the steward to death with a fucking statue of a dolphin. It's so much fun to pin the murder of my husband on a woman that he wasn't sleeping with, but who cared about him very deeply. You know, a woman who was like convinced that like you're ruining your husband's life. I'm like, well, yeah, I am ruining my husband's life. In fact, I fucking killed him, but I'm now going to
Watch me ruin his life and yours, bitch.
Exactly. And there's something delicious about it. Like when a game just says, hey, be evil. And that's what the game asks you to do. That it just becomes so much fun. The game also has that like there's a classic kind of storytelling with it, which I think is like best exemplified by the work of Agatha Christie, where when you filled a physically closed space with like delightful, very colorful characters, and in this game, like it's no different. Like it really fits that like Murder on the Orient Express, Death on the Nile kind of mold. Mm-hmm. Like the characters like Carster's the gambler. Like what's Carster's hiding in his room? And you have the ability to find out what is Carster's hiding in his room. Like who what gambling debts of others does he hold? Spoilers, apparently your husband owed Carster's a lot of money. So like, what is the Major writing down in his little notebook? You know, the Duchess is holding gossip on everybody. What does she know? You know, like the characters in this game are all delightful, right down to the fact that the game used to clown on the idea of like God as a character that you interact with through prayer. It does all of this stuff while being like funny and mean, and the visual presentation of the game is just like visually beautiful. Like every part of it just like looks gorgeous. It somehow manages to look like the missing Carmen Sandiego game that was never released. And based on like the demographic of like the age it's targeting for release, that also makes sense too. Like I started playing this game and I'm like, oh man, like it's kind of like, it's like I'm not hunting for Carmen Sandiego. I am Carmen Sandiego and I am up to some shit. You know, like it has that like really strong vibe. The developer Inkle is a developer that we unfortunately haven't had a lot of opportunity to talk about on the show, but I'm a huge fan of their work. One of their earlier games 80 Days is one of my absolute favorite games of all time. And it feels like Overboard is a worthy successor and is a great thing for you to do on your phone or on your Switch or on your PC. So if you want to go be evil and get out of crime, Overboard is a thing to do.
I'm going to say a statement about Overboard. Based only on what you have said about it, and I want you to tell me if this sounds accurate or not. Untitled Goose Game walked, so Overboard could run.
Fair. You're like, like Untitled Goose Game is also a game. Like Untitled Goose Game is a game about being a dickhead, right? You know?
Yeah, a little tiny dickhead, a little tiny fucking shithead.
Right.
Look at me, I fucking scared a child, so his glasses fell off. Ha ha! Now they are mine.
Right. You know, but
and it's like that. But the murder has already been committed. Figure it out.
Yeah, like an inverse whodunit. Like the premise of the game is it's like an I done it, and it seems like one of those things where like, you know, concepts which are so good, you're like, how the fuck did somebody not do this before? Mm-hmm. You know, it's like, how the fuck did somebody not make an I done it before? Like, because you're using all of like the structural pieces of a whodunit, you're just like moving where the pieces exist. Like, man, this is great. What a cool idea. What a cool fucking idea. I'm always a big fan of like whenever game developers are able to do something that feels like it should have organically emerged decades ago.
If you like Untitled Goose Game, 100% check this out.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
100%. This is designed for you. Hello.
Yes. If Grand Theft Auto 3 or Grand Theft Auto Vice City feel like more fun to you than Red Dead Redemption or Grand Theft Auto 5, this is also for you. This is a be a dickhead game. If you want to be a dickhead, go be. I don't know if you want to say be a dickhead, because you're a dickhead in Untitled Goose Game, as you pointed out. If you wish that goose had a fucking gun, you know, like, here you go. Here you go. My number 3 game consumed a large portion of my life this year. Mm-hmm. Like a lot. Like there are multiple whole days of my, like, if I were tally up hours played, like there are more than one. In fact, I should fucking do.
Just check out that screen reader and tell us how long it's been.
Yep, I'm going to doing the math on that now.
Were you doing it while we were starting this game? Were you checking in on those levels there, Brian? It's okay. This is a safe space. You can say that.
I have spent 11 and a quarter days playing Zookeeper World this year.
For sure.
Yeah.
11 and a quarter full days. 24 hours.
Yes. Playing Zookeeper World.
Sounds like it's a good investment of your time, though.
Yes, it man. Actually set my alarm earlier before recording today so I could take another pass at getting excellent on level 295 before we started recording. Zookeeper World is a game that feels like it would be 100% at home on a Nintendo console, which makes sense because prior to this entry, the series exclusively lived on Nintendo's consoles.
Right.
It is a match 3 puzzling game as well as a zoo building sim. It's not like a dry sim thing. It's more of like a cozy decoration experience. So like if you like, say, decorating a house in Animal Crossing, you'll like building a zoo in Zookeeper World. Like it's very easy to understand the point value of how like various exhibits work. Like, oh, okay, if I put this mix of animals in here, here's what the point value of that mix of animals will be. Like if I put this particular ridiculous costume on my giraffe, here's how much it'll increase the point value of my giraffe. All of that stuff is like very easy to understand. So like it allows you to just like there's no like sitting there going like, why won't this work the way I think? Like I can't tell you how many times I would move just like a single piece of furniture in my home in Animal Crossing, and then get my fuck you letter from the Happy Home Academy, once a week, and be like, hey, no point change. And I'm like, well, I did the thing. I know did the thing. Why did nothing happen?
No.
Yeah. This, like, thus far, it's been, like, very, very, like, it's been a very pleasurable experience. There's, like, these nice little warm things that make the game feel so inviting. Like, there was a point when, like, my point value of my zoo got good enough that, like, I got a notification that there is now a happy calico cat that just wanders my zoo. And so, like, sometimes I'll just see the calico cat wandering the zoo and looking at the various, like, exhibits. And it just makes me happy. Eventually, a family of ducks also moved to the zoo. Mama duck walking out.
Ducks?
Yes, mama duck walking out front with all the little baby ducklings walking behind. And then the moments where I see the calico cat walking with the ducks, I'm like, there's no better thing I could be doing with my time at all right now. And just...
Who needs an actual job? I could build a zoo.
Right, and the match 3 levels, God, like, there are things it does, like doing stuff like adding warp points to specific points of the table, making some points of the table spin, putting conveyor belts onto the table, adding mud that expands unless dealt with, saying like, hey, how about we have warp points, rotating sections, conveyor belts, expanding mud, rock that you have to blast through, all of which require different mechanical treatments. And you've got to figure out how to do it in, like, say, 30 moves or less, bud. Congratulations, fuck yourself. But, like, I say that, but, like, yes, please, fuck me. Like, this is great. Like, I love it. It's one of the best absolute applications of my time this year. Like, I delighted in every moment with Zookeeper World. Do either of you have questions or comments regarding Zookeeper World?
No, I get it. I think it's cool.
I continue to be glad that you're enjoying it.
Alrighty. My number 2 game this year was Tender Creature Comforts.
Mm.
And like I really did a lot of thinking about this. Like, I updated the doc this morning before we started recording and moved Tender Creature Comforts to number 2.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I did it was that, like, long after this year of video gaming is done, I will continue to be haunted by the question of, does Jackie actually love me? Do I actually love Jackie?
Oof, God.
Yeah. We have talked on this show at length about, like, it is best when video games, like, use the inputs that they have available to them effectively as possible. Mm-hmm. Like, like when I pick up a platforming video game and the platforming video game is like, hooray! We're going to require very precise digital inputs, but our default input is the analog stick, and it's kind of squishy. And I reach for the D-pad, and the D-pad doesn't work. Like, it's like, congratulations, fuck you, and fuck this video game. Tender Creature Comforts is a game which is designed to be played on your phone, and it absolutely exploits the ergonomics of the phone perfectly. It is a game that feels like it belongs on your phone. And the way that it understands the way that people emotionally relate to the physical object of their phone increases the emotional stakes of the game. Like, when you schedule in real time like dates that you will go on in this dating visual novel game. You're like, okay, well, let's meet up like Thursday at 8 p.m. Then you'll find yourself like fidgeting and getting excited like as the time comes close, because like it understands the relationship to the device. And at the same token, like when you have, say, that date scheduled for Thursday at 8 p.m., and then you get a push notification on your phone at 7:50, at like 10 minutes until the day was supposed to start, and it's from the person you were supposed to go out with, and it says, hey, sorry, I need to watch Downton Abbey with my mom tonight. Like, it can just, like, leave you feeling absolutely, like, put out, because the game understands, like, how to get you going, like, emotional
experience.
Exactly. Like, so, like, I wouldn't necessarily say this game is for everyone, because if you think that is something that might be triggering for you, or if it might be just, like, too intense an emotional experience, then, like, by all means, like, like, stay away and keep yourself happy, keep yourself safe. But if you really want to experience something which is incredibly immersive, and you've got the spoons to do it, it's wild how completely immersive this experience is. Like, you will absolutely feel engaged by these characters. They will absolutely feel real. A particular character in the game, like I said, Jackie, just like continues to haunt me. Like, just based on the things that I said to Jackie and the things Jackie said to me, I am not sure if we fell in love or we just are mechanically simulating it, because we're both like, okay, well, if we're not in love, then what have we been doing?
Right.
Right.
That's frightening. Hey, I don't like that.
Well,
yeah.
Wow, what the hell? Hey, actually, you know what? Don't like that.
Yeah, right? Like, it's terrifying. And the thing is that, like, it's also a very sophisticated and nuanced idea. And, like, one other thing that I love video games doing is embracing sophisticated and nuanced ideas, which, please see my number one. So, like, that this game, like, tackles those in, like, lots of different narratives, it is very, very satisfying. So, like, if you've got the space for it, like, I would recommend, like, this emotional feast. My number one game is also a game which tackles sophisticated and nuanced ideas, and a lot of them in a lot of different ways. Day Repeat Day is one of my favorite video games.
for sure.
Entirely? Forever?
No qualifying statements. Like, if I were to sit down and, like, write up a list of, like, my top 10 games of all time, and then do...
This one's in there.
Yeah, like, and then I would do myself the kindness of saying, don't rank them, just pick 10. This is going to be on that list. The layers of the ways that this game exposes itself to you are so, like, intense. I actually made the time to, like, spend some time with this last night, and started a playthrough, and then got to the Turing test for the whistleblower, and kept on slamming my head against the wall, and realized that here I am, something like 8 months out, and and 8 months out, I still can't figure out how to beat the Turing test in the game, and I know that there is a way to beat it.
Yeah, he told us.
Yeah,
he asked the dude. He was like, "Yeah, we didn't think it would be that bad."
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
Brian, are you a human?
Right. And so, like, that's one of the things that, like, this game does, is that this game has the absolute brass ones to ask the player to consider itself, are you a human? And does so effectively. Holy shit.
It does so in such a way that Brian has a Brian-shaped hole in his desk from slamming his face into it repeatedly.
One
day you'll get it, Brian. I believe in you.
It's gonna be wild. Like that's gonna be the start of the show. It's like, hey, everybody, shut up! I figured out the Turing test. Look, it was like, oh god.
Yeah. Saying this game is like a match 3 puzzler, I think like is reductive. Saying the game is a kind of like a visual novel or a narrative game based on like the break experiences, I think is also reductive. Like it's really like there's a sense of totality to like everything that it throws at you. One of my favorite things that I did with video games this year was to watch a VOD of Rocky's first play session of this game.
Yeah.
The way that Rocky reacted every time he watched one of those like video interstitials between the days,
Thanks for that, Rocky. By the way, I still appreciate it.
Yeah, there is like there was like a level of like at first it was like there was like a little sense of like curiosity, and then there came like there was like hints of frustration. Like there was all kinds of different things that like those video interstitials were pulling out of you, Rocky, and then to get to the ultimate revelation of the game, where like when you find out like what is going on with the world and what this all is, and you essentially find out that those video interstitials like exist as part of like the system of manipulation to make an AI think that it's human, so that way it will work harder. Ah! Oh God!
I'm still mad that none of y'all ever gave your brother the money. Like, it was fine.
I did a playthrough where I gave him the money. I didn't feel that much better about it, but I don't know. All things being equal, maybe I should have just gave him the money. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, it's one of those things too, where like, you know, when we talk about like natural human inclinations, like I found myself in subsequent playthroughs veering towards similar choices in the like the visual novel sections, because that's where my instincts were. And I'm like, even though I now know that like carousel is a lie, I still don't care. Which is like this thing.
You're still like, fire up this merry-go-round, bitch.
Right, exactly. And so it makes me sit there and go like, am I human? Am I a fucking machine? Do my choices matter? Will I always think the things I do? Will I always not give my brother the money because I'm no better than a fucking vacuum cleaner? I'm a coffee maker. Like if I will always rotely make that same decision regardless of input data. Like the game is fundamentally asking you to question like whether or not like you are human. Because, like, if you play the game again after you have the information from the end of the game, then, like, the way you interact with the choices is now informed by your understanding that this is all not real. But if you just start to, like, veer into choices based on your own, predispositions.
Morality.
Yeah, your own morality, your own... like you're the fabric of self. You're like, oh God, like, is a person different than a fucking coffee maker? Oh God. So yes, this game broke me. It broke me in a good way. I love it. I want to hug this video game.
I can't wait for the day that like the true AI starts showing up and like you can download your friends' personalities into your AI machines.
That's not terrifying.
I will absolutely download Brian into a coffee maker.
You're gonna trap Brian Cartwright in the purgatory of a coffee maker? The prime Brian Cartwright does not deserve that.
It'll be an even better situation because I don't drink coffee, and so the entire point of the coffee maker will be just like, why do I exist here? And I'll be like, I don't know, man. It's fun, though. And then I'll just move on and make my tea.
Oh, God. Oh.
And we wonder who's going to be an evil scientist on this show. It's me. I'm the evil scientist. Whoops. I'm not sorry.
If some have learned something, that's fine. If others have learned nothing, that's fine as well. More importantly, it was fun, right?
Yeah, it was fun, right?
Everyone, this has been our show. These are our top 5 lists from Impossible Coin. These are individuals. We will be back next week with our show top 10, which is our collective top video games of 2021. Look forward to it. If you're interested in following the show, you can find us wherever podcasts are found. iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, and SoundCloud. Guys, can you hit SoundCloud for me one time?
Fuck SoundCloud.
And speaking of SoundCloud, the music at the beginning and end of this podcast was produced by our friend Big Such. You can find his work on SoundCloud at soundcloud.com/BigSuchNJ, or you can talk to him on Twitter at Hillary_Swank. Our logo is also a t-shirt, and it was designed by Lauren Moran. You can find her work on Twitter at Lauren Moran, and consider donating to her Patreon. We have a Patreon too. It's at patreon.com/Impossible Podcast. There you will find our artisanal show notes, our bespoke watch-alongs, and audio essays about things that we care about. Also anime episodes. We should really get back into those. We are also on social media. I'm on Facebook and Instagram. Brian's on Twitter. Tegan's on Tumblr. It's all Impossible Coin. No dashes, underscores, or anything weird like that. We also stream on Twitch. On Tuesdays, Tegan is playing Breath of the Wild, her game of the year. And I will continue playing Tales of Arise on Wednesdays. And maybe fill in some other days in between, if the schedule permits. But that's us. That's the show.
Peace.